is happening, everybody? My name is Beth and welcome back to Every Day is Spooktober. Now today you are in for a treat because I watched this film and I enjoyed it. It was super interesting. I have a lot to say about this film, so I don't want to keep blabbering on, but I have to just say I did sort of ruin it for myself because people on YouTube who I watch that do like video reactions, a few people have been reacting to this film recently, and I couldn't help myself but watch their reaction, and it was so fucking good. And obviously in a reaction you see like 20 minutes of sort of the film and whatever, so you don't really see like half of it. But I just couldn't help myself and I clicked on the video, so I kind of ruined bits of it for myself, although like I said, there were so many bits that were cut out because of YouTube. But I'm just going to get straight into it. As you can tell, I watched VHS. And yeah, for those of you who have followed my channel, I am the biggest found footage fan, ever. I love me a good found footage film. And the fact that there's about 20 of these VHS films that I haven't yet to see, I'm disappointed in myself. But I'm also just super excited because I've got more of these to now watch. I'm probably going to make this just an ongoing series now, and I'm going to try and just watch all these VHS films. I've recently signed up to Shudder, and they've got loads and loads of stuff on there, including all these films. So I've literally just finished watching it, so this is my like fresh reaction. I had never seen the trailer. I'd heard of these films, but I don't know why. It's just taken me a minute to get to it. I've always heard of them, and it was never anything that I was super intrigued or wanted to know about. But like after watching it, like that was a wild ride. I have to admit, I knew because I watched a creator's video before. Obviously I did ruin some bits for myself, and I know that like obviously it's like snippets of like it's like mini horror stories, you know what I mean? So it's like scary stories to tell in the dark. It's like Trick or Treat. It's like the same vibe where you've got multiple stories sort of embedded within one. If you have seen my review of Trick or Treat as well, I don't particularly like that style of filmmaking. And I don't know what it is. I think it's because I would rather just have like a story pieced together and it just, maybe that's like my OCD, but like I would rather have like a very simple story, everything pieced together, everything makes sense and be sort of added up and concluded at the end. I knew this is how it's going to be, so I was a little bit unsure about it, but I really liked how it wasn't just sort of like random like short films just plopped together in one video. I liked that like every sort of VHS tape was very different, and every time we came out of one, we were going back into like a story that was embedded throughout. Obviously we have like the group of guys who like post like stuff on the internet of like them doing illegal stuff and like breaking stuff and like harassing people, and they get told to go to some person's house and go and find more tapes so that they can resell them, make copies and make money. And obviously that's the premise of this. And then every time one of the group members watches a film on the VHS player, they go missing at the end of it, and then obviously we narrow it down to the last one, and then obviously we all die. Best way to end a film usually in a horror film. We're just going to talk about some of these like, you know, these like mini films, I guess. Some of them were just bad shit crazy. They were wild. The first tape that we had was like the weird woman who was like a monster, and she like eats those three guys, and then they're in like the motel room and she's like really weird. That first tape for me was really like, I don't know, it was very off-putting, I'll admit. Like it felt, when they're all in the like motel room, it felt very like weird and uncomfortable. But I guess you could sort of say the overall sort of like the overall wrap up of that story is like men will be men and be assholes, but us women, like we're just gonna get them back. We're gonna get back at them. I do kind of like the sort of underlining meanings of that story, but it was really full on. I didn't realize as well that this was like rated 18, so you're getting nudity, you're getting gore, you're getting foul language, like you're getting everything. And I mean, to be honest with you, and rated 18 horror film is my that's my favorite. It was just a lot. Like the first one was a lot, I have to admit. It was and I guess it was fun. It was alright. It was very slasher-esque. A lot of these were just very slasher-esque, but they were still fun. The second tape that we had is obviously of the couple that are like on holiday and they go to like the Grand Canyon, and we sort of find out that there's this like weird girl knocking on their front door in the motel, and then we sort of end up finding out that this girl like sneaks into their room and you know, sticks the husband's toothbrush in the toilet, which I mean I think is pretty funny. I found that quite comedic more than horrifying. And then she like steals a bit of money from him, and then we sort of find out at the end of that one that the wife of the husband is actually a lesbian, and she was just planning this whole time just to kill the husband so she can go off with her new girlfriend. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought it was a lot more light-hearted than the zombie. Well, it was a lot more light-hearted than the other one with like the girl and the guys in the hotel room and stuff. And fun fact, if anyone maybe didn't know this, every single VHS tape that we see, it's written by somebody different. And this one about the husband and wife going away on holiday, this one was written by Ty West, which is really interesting. I didn't realise that at all, but when I go and think back at it, I'm like, it's got that sort of like weird X vibe to it, so like I can see this being Ty West kind of work. But no, I didn't love this one. I didn't hate it. I just thought it was like pretty mid, but like I said, it was nice that it wasn't like super intense like the previous one. The third VHS tape is actually called Tuesday the 13th, which is a play off like Friday the 13th. Obviously this is the one where they have like the full group of friends and they're like in the woods, and it basically just turns into a big sort of slasher fest. I thought that one was really fun, and by the time we got to that tape I was like, this is definitely my favourite by far. I think the use of the camera work with like the camera sort of like losing focus, you know, like having tech issues, I think the whole use of that to then create this like weird being that we don't fully see who's killing everyone, I thought that was really interesting. I would have liked to have seen some kind of creepy stuff, or like some image of this person, but I thought it was like kind of like a fun little like Jason moment. I liked how they like played a spin on it. It felt like very familiar when I was watching it, which is why I think I was like, it immediately ticked and I was like, I really like that. Fourth video we had was the one where it's all set up just like on a FaceTime call. As soon as I saw this, I was super excited because I was like, yes, Unfriended. Love the setup of Unfriended. So this was quite a fun one. And it also reminds me of like Paranormal Activity 4. I think the setup of the FaceTime is a lot more creepier depending on how it's done. And this one just went off the rails. This one was really gory. Didn't expect it to go the way that it went. The whole thing of like that, like there's like aliens in this girl's house, and they have like the boyfriend has to like cut her back open to like get these aliens out, and then like give them to the other aliens. Oh, it was just it was gross. Definitely had to. I almost looked away, but I mean I wouldn't, but I almost did look away. That was pretty vile to see. That was an interesting story. A lot of these stories you just don't know where they're going, and I like that. I think the only one that I sort of guessed was sort of the one in the woods. Fifth and final one was these group of guys that go, it's Halloween, and they're going to a Halloween party. Loved that they incorporated Halloween in it, and that came right at the end. Definitely a Halloween watch for sure. This film, definitely will revisit it on Halloween. But the Halloween party, yeah, they go to Halloween party and they go to an address and there's no one in the house, so they're like really confused. The house starts like transforming and weird stuff's going on. There's like arms sticking out of walls, and then they get to the top of the house and they hear stuff, and it seems like there's some sort of like satanic cult thing going on some girl. The group of guys like save her and pull her out of this house while the house is like going crazy and like throwing things at them. it was kind of giving me like Black Mirror vibes, like that episode when the guy goes into the video game and he's like in the house and the house is all haunted. But I thought the visuals for that was so sick. Was like the like doorknobs were like vanishing, and then like windows were like, you know, sort of closing and disappearing, and it was a really fun idea. And at first I was like, so this is like a haunted house thing, but like it was a lot more than that. And then obviously we see them get the girl in the car and they drive away. The car starts acting up, they stop in front of a train track, and guess what happens? Obviously they die and the girl is obviously possessed. Kind of guessed that was gonna happen at the end of it, but yeah. And then obviously throughout these tapes we're just like intercutting with these guys like looking through each tape, and then each guy keeps disappearing per tape. I think my overall favourite tape is the final one, the Halloween party one. I think they saved the best till last. I just liked the visuals. It gave me sort of like Wreck vibes when they're like exploring down the hallways. It kind of looked a little bit like the first and the second one. You know, it was quite intense. Obviously found footage always is. Overall, I mean, there's not really a film like this. There's really not a film like this. So I did like what I saw, and I really do want to see the other ones. I need to see what they're about. I think it incorporated quite cool ideas, and I'm intrigued to see what the other ones sort of entail and what they do with these stories. I think it's cool that sort of Ty West was in this, because this was made in like 2012, so it's fairly old, but I enjoyed it. I'd probably rate this like a 6.5 out of 10. I'd definitely revisit it, like I said. If you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next one, which hopefully will be VHS 2. If not, that will be coming very, very soon.